Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. It's your host, Chris and Deepom here. And it's back. We're here to talk about the end of Season 5. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Episode 22. Coulson's life or death is in the challenge for the team. Is it the challenge for the team? For the team. Oh, so this is all fucked up. Coulson's life or death is the challenge the team finds themselves in, as the wrong decision will cause the destruction of the Earth. Sorry, I couldn't read for a second there. It read weird. Jed Whedon actually directed this episode, and hey, look, I just gotta say this right off the bat. Hey, you always gotta keep a spare Fitz, yo. You never know we're gonna get a flat. I'm just saying, you never know. You gotta keep a spare Fitz, man.
These motherfuckers.
Yo, we kept bringing up. Go
ahead.
No, I was gonna say we kept bringing up the fact that there's a spare Fitz floating around in space.
How are they going to address it? This is how they're going to address it. They're going to kill ours.
and here's the thing, not really say it out loud. Because they don't ever flat out say that's what they're going to do, which is the beautiful way they did it. So some people were confused, and I think everybody knows now because people have just gone out there and just expelled it out for them. But like, can you imagine if we lived in a time when social media didn't have instant answers for you for everything? You'd be like, what the fuck are they talking? Who are they talking about? It would have taken some people a little bit of time to realize they were talking about going into space to find the other Fitz. Just the way that entire scene was shot, because you're like, oh, they saved Coulson, they're Fitz. You had all these sad moments with Simmons packing things up, and you're like, oh wow, this is the end, man. They had to say they're gonna basically do a spy's goodbye or give a toast to Fitz, and then you realize it's like, oh, it's not for Fitz, it's for Coulson, and they've already decided they're gonna go and get the other Fitz in space. What the fuck?
Yep.
It's the misdirection of this show. I love. I love it. I love it because you never know how it's gonna go. You know. Let's address the big thing in the front because I'm going to do this now because fuck Screen Rant. Listen, I don't care. Look, part of me would have thought it would have been cool if they ended with half the team disappearing and when Thanos snapped his fingers up, they lined it up that way. That would have been awesome. You know what, though? They didn't do it. It was still awesome. It was still good. It doesn't matter. Like, I think this is one of the biggest things that gets in the way of people enjoying not just TV, but movies. Like, people let their headcanon get in the way. Now, if something's just bad, then yeah, it's bad. But if you've worked your way up to that it can only be one thing, and if it doesn't happen that one thing, but it's still good, and you can't deal with that, that's on you.
It goes back to my continued phrases, everything is pro wrestling. If you talk to a wrestling fan, everyone will tell you why their favorite guy isn't being booked properly. And what really happens is, this is the story I want to see. They're not doing my story, and so it's wrong and bad. Hi, Last Jedi haters. Anyway, it's just it gets in the way of enjoyment, and I think it's interesting because it is such a serialized format now, television, and because our natural human instinct is when we're left with an incomplete story to complete the story. It's one of the reasons we have history that moves forward, because we tell the stories through verbal tradition and writing things down eventually. Now, our brain, it's one of the things that if you see a bad movie, it can keep you up at night until your brain can reconcile a better ending in your own head. Mm-hmm. Because that's how tied to narrative as animals we are, like on a very basic level. What happens here is we're given synopses and previews and renewal schedules. So in our head, we build up things that this is how they have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're usually wrong. I mean, we're not usually wrong, but most people are usually wrong.
Well, what I love about Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is they take what you think you know, and they take what you think is they have to do, and they say, we're not going to do that. At this point, at this point, I think doing the opposite is you have to, whatever you think they're going to do, they're going to do the opposite of it.
So were you a Buffy fan? Did you watch Buffy?
Yes, I watched Buffy.
So end of season 5, the glory season, Buffy dies. Spoilers. but it was written as a series finale
Mm-hmm.
in case the show was never picked up anywhere else. WB dumped it. I think EPN picked it up. This felt like that.
Absolutely. Yes.
It felt like, because if this had been the last episode, I would have tipped my cat, stood, applauded, and turned the lights out for him on the way out the door.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing about this. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember if it was Dredd or Marissa. One of them, they tipped their hand earlier on when they said, like, months ago, we already know how this season ends. We've written this season finale so that it can be a series end or not. It doesn't matter if we get renewed or not. We've already written the finale. We know how it's going to go.
Yep.
And I think there's two things with that. One, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. can fit in because no matter what you do, like, okay, they wrapped everything up before Thanos snapped his fingers. That's the answer right there. It's like, okay, they go out into that, they're trying to go into outer space, and then Thanos snaps. Like, there's so many ways they can handle this. We don't know when season 6 will pick up. We have no idea. Like they said, starting in 2019, is it going to be before Avengers 4? Is it going to be after? Like, what's the time period of that? We don't fucking know yet. They've basically said that we're going to allow ourselves to forge our own path and do our own thing, which is why Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. has always worked. They fit into the movies when they need to, but they can do their own stuff and tell their own stories because they've been given the creative freedom to do that. Like, there's a lot of shows that would not have been given the creative freedom that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been given. And you can tell that in what they do. And the way they handle it and the way they've done it, it just feels so good. Like you said, by everybody, like before the finale, people were saying, "Oh man, I really wish they hadn't told us that it was coming back because now we know how it's going to end." And it turns out that no, we didn't. We didn't know how it was going to end. We didn't know anything. Everything we thought was going to happen. People are written all these articles about how we know how this is going to end. Oh, we know how this is going to go. And then turns out none of that was true. None of it worked that way. It served as a good send-off, we guess, for Coulson. You know, because we don't know. He's told he's given a couple days, but fuck, who knows what's going to happen, you know?
Well, also, it could be weeks. We don't know when the next season starts.
Right.
We know when it's going to air, but we don't know it could pick up from the final closing shot on the jump ship.
Right. We have no idea. The team is going into outer space to try to find Fitz because, again, they shot him into space, but again, where did he go? Is he still sitting in there? Did Enoch and them pick him up? Like, where is Fitz in space? We have no idea. Deke, where's Deke?
Deke vanished.
Did he though?
Yeah, because remember they looked in his room and all that shit was gone.
Oh shit! I completely forgot about that. Damn.
That was like the establishment that the Deke Canary in the coal mine. They actually changed time.
Change time. Damn, I forgot about that. Damn, poor Deke. Well, no, he actually, you know what? Not poor Deke, because he basically like I got out to go experience the world. You know, maybe he got some more Zimas. He got some more Zimas. It's just, yo, this was fucking. First of all, they put some more money into this episode.
Oh, for sure.
You know, but it felt good because it went back to what we were saying when we've been having this team fractured for so long since they got back, with them being at each other's throats, with everything that's happened. But when it was time for them to come together, they came together. You know, even down to Fitz going to help save Mac and Robin's mom, and then he ends up, you know, soon as that shit fell on him, I was like, oh, Fitz dead. I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work, but Fitz is dead. Like, like Fitz is gone. Like, that shit fell on its head, and and then it turned into this really heartfelt moment where Fitz and Mac have these moments together, and because you know they had been at odds, and here you get this moment with Fitz and Mac, and he's like, you know, the Fitz and Mac connection, and it's just so emotional, man, so emotional, and I love this show, man. I don't almost feel like we don't deserve it. I feel like we don't almost don't deserve it.
You know, we've had this conversation. We haven't talked about the fucking full-on superhero fight they threw in the show.
Bro, they turned Daisy Johnson into a fucking superwoman, yo.
They threw an alien spaceship in downtown Chicago. Daisy Johnson was running. I was like, I wish she'd quake to get there. Oh shit, she did it!
Yo, they turned her.
That was alive looking at my life while that happened.
Like, I was that. Holy shit, man! Holy shit. Also, Daisy Johnson,
and I love how people are going to say it didn't tie into Infinity War. What's Cap's thing in Infinity War? We don't trade lives. What is Mac's only directive as director? Save everyone you can.
Mm-hmm.
Shield is once again, for all the weirdness, for all the wackiness, for all the horseshit that's happened to these people. We've changed so much from the time we were on the bus. That line is said this time. None of us are the same people.
Mm-hmm.
But the Shield stands. And there's a reason why it's called Shield. And yes, it is a fun acronym. But it's also because in the Marvel Universe, and apparently, doubly so in the cinematic universe, when the world was besieged by threats that were larger than they could understand, the Shield stood. It protected the world. It's a shield for a reason. And it was awesome to hear Daisy verbalize the tenets of Shield to Gravitron. Because I can't call him Talbot anymore. Talbot's gone. Talbot's lost. Not just because he's frozen in space. But because this was his final move into becoming Graviton. The effects of him pulling up just pieces of Chicago, and the reasoning of how he'd get to more Gravitonium, you see how the world got broken.
Mm-hmm.
He absorbs Daisy, takes that power, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
But somehow Robin knew. She said, everything changes. She said, something's wrong, I guess is what she said.
Mm-hmm.
Because Coulson didn't take the serum. And he did give it to Daisy.
And Coulson was the key. Coulson, like she said, Coulson's the key. Coulson brings everyone together. And she was absolutely right on that. Like, it worked. Going back to what you're saying about the Shield coming down and Mac's directive just to save everyone they can. When they put the call out and they're like, "This is Shield here to help you," the people were just like, "Oh, thank God!" You know, like again, like you said, this show has basically reestablished Shield as being the good guys, as being, like you said, the shield for humanity, and that's something that even when the show's over with and gone with, they can bring Shield back. You know, in the MCU, because it's been earned. Shield has gone through some shit, and Shield's been there for the people. And yeah, man, it was just good to see this. Going back to that, even the fact that Mac was in charge when Daisy goes to stuff and just like, and I'm like, this is why Daisy's a good leader. She knew when she was compromised and couldn't be a leader.
Right.
That's the mark. I'm sorry. That's a mark of a good leader. When you know that you are out of your depth, or when you know you're emotionally compromised or too close to a situation and can't make the rational decisions and rational choices. You know, Daisy called that meeting, called everybody there, and then told Yo-Yo's like, "No, you were right. You know what? I can't make these decisions." And you said I was too close and too emotionally compromised. Like it's so. You know what is so funny about this is, we just did the Arrow review, right? And in the Arrow, you know, we had Oliver going around doing his apology, which he was right for, by the way. He did not need to apologize. So those non-apologies were actually way too generous. He was a very generous white man in this case. But it just reminds me that Arrow and Agent Shield, different shows, but they kind of had the same thing. We had fracturing among the team. Now, obviously, Agent Shield handled it a bit better because it's more of a family that they've generated over years. Right. But even just that time with Daisy in front of everybody going like, "This is what's going on. This is what's happening." May giving Coulson the choice. May being like, "Listen, we did all of this to save you. We're going to go out there and save the world. You need to take this and save yourself. But I'm going to give you the choice to do it. I'm telling you that, you know, we love you. We want you to be around here. But it is your choice. We're not going to force you, even though I wish I could. You make the decision." And Coulson goes out and is Coulson.
That's the best way to describe it. He goes full Coulson.
He goes full Coulson, you know. And it tricked everybody into thinking he took it. and then you have it standing there barely being able to hold on and hold together, and then we get that scene that we saw in the vision of Daisy yelling back on the thing, and we see that she wasn't, because when we, again, context matters for everything, right? Because when we first saw that, it looked like Daisy was yelling at somebody, and they were trying to tell her not to go somewhere. Instead, it was her yelling back at Coulson, "You go back, you take that, you take that serum, and you get better, and I'll be back." You know, it wasn't. It's just basically she was yelling because like the Quinjet's there. You know, it wasn't anger. It's really out of love. You know, you basically have a daughter yelling back at her father, "Hey, you go back, get back in bed, and take your medicine."
Yeah, essentially.
It's just, oh my god, I don't know what else to say. Like, this is what we wanted. This is. I love this show so much because, as you said, we started this. We weren't even talking about the superhero fights, and the fight is great. And that fight between her and Graviton is amazing. But it's all the interpersonal relationships that make this shit grow. The acting and just the feelings and emotions you have with all these people, and the misdirection they give us all, where we don't know what's going on and what's happening. That's what makes this show. That's what makes Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. such a great show to me. You're so invested into it and these characters, you know? And the show knows that, and they play on that. Like you said, when they bring up the line about the bus. And I'm like, fuck, I forgot about the bus. The Zephyr's kind of new, you know?
Yo, not only that, Yo-Yo's never known the bus.
Right. She's like, I wish I would have known you guys back then. And I was like, fuck. Yeah, it's a different time. Shit. I completely forgot about that. Because so much has gone on. It's like, you know, Yo-Yo's only really known him for like 2 years, I guess. Because she came on last season. You know? And then she wasn't even a regular. This season, she was a season regular. This is her first time being a season regular. This is the first time really being with this crew this entire time. And so you're like, fuck. Just. And then you get the fight, which was fucking awesome. Daisy Johnson is just, yeah. She tries to talk him down, tries to reason to him, tries to tell him, and he doesn't. And then she sees that Coulson had gave her the. I thought she was gonna take it to him. I thought that was the thing.
So did I.
And then
I guess that was off the table once May smashed the odium in the beginning. Which, by the way, that's a way to win an argument.
Right. I'm making this for everybody.
Boy, option B.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just. Mm-hmm. So that's off the table now. So what we got next? What's next? Yeah, you're right, because he had given it to Coulson because the whole idea was to give him that and the odium to overcharge his heart and hopefully give him a heart attack. And I'm like, right. And here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing. What if doing that? What if that would have actually made it worse? Because that would have made him more powerful. And maybe he wouldn't have had control, and maybe he then would have cracked the earth then. Like to me, this felt like this option right here was the only one out of 3 that could have possibly gone. One was they give it to Coulson, save him. Daisy then gets absorbed. Graviton then uses that his newfound power and her to crack the earth, because he's just indiscriminately pulling this shit out of the earth, not understanding what he's doing. 2 was they don't give it to Coulson, but they combine it with the odium and they give it to Graviton, but he loses control, and then he gets, because it gives you a shot of more power. He would have had more power, and he would have then cracked the earth because he wouldn't have had control when he dies, and that makes it even worse. And then 2 was the option where Daisy gives it to herself and then literally shoots him into outer space, which, fuck. Like, at first I was like, what did she do? She literally shot this motherfucker into outer space. Remind me never to piss off Daisy Johnson.
100%.
Like, oh my God. So good. So good. So good. Also means we've completely lost Creel. He's never coming back now. So.
Oh, Creel's very gone.
Yeah, Creel's very gone. We got very gone. Very gone.
It's a serious rap on Carl Creel.
Yeah, serious rap there. I don't know, man. I don't, at this point, like, I can't, there's nothing else I can say to people to like we were just talking about this last when we did the Arrow, but like listen, 6 seasons in with Arrow, you know if you're in or out. You're still watching Arrow and you don't like it, you like Arrow. Like you gotta accept it that you like Arrow because you've been sticking around for 6 seasons of 23 episodes. Fuck.
It's a big investment.
That's a big investment. We're soon going into the 6th season now, and it's going to be a shorter season, only 13 episodes, but still, I think I'm actually almost afraid of what they'll do with 13.
Right.
because they crammed so much into 22 that people are like, oh, I wish it was a longer season. I'm like, don't worry, you're going to feel like this is a long season. It's going to feel like 22 episodes at 13 because they do. Nobody does pacing and storytelling better than Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now. Going into the 6th season, I can't. I don't know what else to tell you if you're not watching. Like when I just like you should like this is it. This gives you to me, and I like the Netflix Marvel shows, but to me, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is the what are the people on the ground thinking? What are the people on the ground doing? This is the street level heroes, if you will, for me. That is what Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is. Because it despite people saying, "Oh, it didn't directly tie into Infinity War," which it did. You're missing the point. This is what the direct connection is, to the point that I do think that Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. falls under the MCU's and Kevin Feige versus Ike Perlmutter, because I'm sorry, there's just too many things that go with this, and then when you look at like what happened with Inhumans, I was like, Inhumans felt like completely different. Like it just did not feel like this. Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. just feels different, and to me, it gives you that street level feeling. It gives you what it's like. Because here's the crazy thing: people are like, "Oh, we didn't get the snap. We didn't know what happened there." Remember, in the end of Infinity War, we saw Maria Hill and Nick Fury. They were out in I don't know what city they were in, but they were in there trying to get help and figure out what's going on and all these other things and figure out what's going on there. So there's a lot of stuff still happening and still going on here. This team, they're focused right now on completing their team. At this point, figuring out where Fitz is. Figuring out where Fitz is and get them. And they have a spaceship now. So they're going to go into outer space and find Fitz. They have, we have other people taking care of the big Thanos level issues. And we'll see where this picks up after that. But like, yeah, man, this is it to me. This is where I get my pulse on what the rest of the MCU is looking like from the ground level. And man, it feels so good. Feels so good. Couple of lines.
I can't believe we're here, man. This has been. It's really like you said. This is the MCU ground level, and they pull it off, man. Because even every aspect of this finale works. From watching them actively change time by saying, "Robin's mom and Mac don't make it back from this."
Mm-hmm.
And May, of course, being the one who saves the day because that's who May is. To the connection between Mac and Fitz as Fitz lays dying.
Yeah. I think my leg's broken. Oh, it's a little bit more than that.
No, he's just like, yeah, man, you look all right.
Yeah. Because again, it goes back, like I said, and they set that up because Mac and Fitz have had some, like Mac was there for Fitz when Fitz couldn't speak, when Fitz was having problems. You get the Mac and Fitz connection, and Mac thought his friend was completely gone. And his friend came back to save him. Let's be honest what happened here. Fitz came back to save his friend. Put his life on the line and died because of it.
Yeah. Exactly what happened.
Never see the group willing to die for each other. That was what Deke said. And now remember what you're talking about with the room being empty. I thought Gemma was cleaning out their room, but you're right. It was Deke's room because he left the knife, and everything was gone. Coulson looking over and seeing the thing keeping him alive. That's not something you see at urgent care. Still got dying, still got the jokes. Still got the jokes. And we've seen what happens when we don't let nature take its course, which is also true. Very, very, very true. But yeah, Coulson, you can't blame them for wanting to save you because, come on, man, like
it worked. First of all,
yeah, it worked. But even like what May said is she gave Coulson the choice, and Coulson chose to let them believe he was gonna live. To give, because he knew, because there's another thing too. You got to realize Coulson is the glue that holds his team together and keeps them together. So he knew that if he knew that he couldn't just sit there and say, "I'm not going to take this." He knew that would distract his team. So he played his part and pretended like he was okay and held it together so his team could go out there and do what they had to do. You know. And then when they get there and they were like, he didn't take it. And they go to, so you see that he had snuck it when he gave Daisy the hug. He snuck it into Daisy's gauntlets because Coulson is a spy, and he's sneaky like that.
Very much.
And yeah, everything with, like you said, I'm really excited to see what they do when they come back now, because like I said, this could have been a series finale. It could have ended right here, and I would have been like, okay, you have the team, you have the core team. Shield's still there. You have May and Coulson on a beach in Tahiti, which again, going all the way back, it is a magical place. Just
it took all the callbacks to the first season. Hell, the big bad this season is from season 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's man.
I just. How can you not like this? How can you not enjoy a show that, to me, it pays off to be a fan. It knows that you're watching, and it knows how much you care about these characters, and it has trained us to pay attention to certain things, almost to a fault in which now I gotta temper my expectations when it comes to other shows, because I'm not getting that level of writing, and not just writing, but they actively screw with us. Like this is a writing room that actively screws with you and screws with the audience, because on purpose, knowing that, oh, you remember that little thing here? Oh, remember when we shot Fitz into space? And he lived in space for 90 years, waiting to come back. They're gonna go get him. That's why Gemma wasn't crying. Like Gemma wasn't that upset. Like in a way, you gotta think about it. They're getting old Fitz back. They're getting the Fitz that didn't operate on Daisy Johnson. They're getting Fitz that didn't get Max shot. They're getting the Fitz that didn't turn into the Doctor, right?
He's still got that in it. You gotta remember that too.
Oh, he's got it in. Oh, but that's gonna be the great part, though, right?
Right.
Everybody looking at Fitz, and because again, so it's so good when you go back now and you listen to what they were saying, and that final like lead up to them having that drink. You think they're talking about Fitz, Coulson being gone, or Fitz being gone, or something like that, and then you hear him, and you're like when Jim was like, he's gonna be so upset that he missed all this. You're like, what were you talking about? Did Fitz live? Like, what's going? And I was like, son of a bitch, the Fitz in space. They realize that there's another Fitz up there.
Bravo show.
Bravo. You know, the only thing I need now, right? I need a Deke to come back. But no, think about it. It's like this is a Deke who is the child of their of this stuck in space Fitz and Gemma. Him like come back to the timeline. It's like Bishop, like, you guys change some things around, but it's we need your help or some shit like that. If we get some like some newer kind of Fitz, that'd be Deke. That'd be amazing. Oh my goodness, man! What a ride! What a ride this season! This season.
So happy to still be here with them. Like it's such a good show.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're getting 13 more. I think it's worth it. I think it's great. We did get an email here from Tanya. She says, "Thank God for spare Fitz." Hey, look, like I said, always keep a spare Fitz. You never know when you're gonna need one.
Break glass in case of
right
wall collapse.
Right. Another amazing episode. I was on the edge of my seat during the action sequences, knowing that a death was coming. I'm looking forward to season 6 and what that will bring. Yes, absolutely. Same here. I'm just really, really excited. Like, this is just. I almost say we don't. Like I said, we don't deserve this. Like, this is a show that, and I also shout out to ABC and Disney and Marvel for knowing that ratings aren't everything, and that when you have a special show, you got to keep it going, at least to give that proper. Even if, like I said, let's say they didn't give us a season 6, they still let all 22 of these episodes go through, giving us an ending that could have been a series finale. That still opened it up so that if at some times you want to bring it back and revive the series, you could. And that gives me hope for these next 13, thinking that, let's say, again, they're going to do it the same way, that, hey, maybe we're going to evolve it to something else. Like, I don't know. I'm just glad that we've gotten 5 seasons of this and that we're going to get 6. I'm just really, really glad about that, because some shows don't get that. They don't get that opportunity to go out the way they want to go out. And it seems like Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is being given that opportunity. And, all things come to an end at some point. I'm glad it's not ending this season. I'm really happy we're going forward. But bravo to them for sticking by it, yo. Like, that.
Amen.
Doesn't happen very often. All right, folks. Wow, we only have one more. At least me and Deepam. Shannon and the Doctor, I think, are going to be around for a few more weeks. We only have one more. We have The Flash coming up on Wednesday. That'll be the season finale for that. And I said this on Arrow, but I am very, very excited to take that fucking break. I'm sorry, guys. I love you guys. I love doing these shows. I love doing this. But not having to watch a show and having a free weekend is going to be amazing. It's just, have a free. There's going to be a Sunday we're going to be like, yo, we got to record today? Nah. Shit. You mean I can do anything I want? Yeah. So that's going to be fun. So, but mailbag. We do have the mailbag. Mailbag will be coming up end of this month. So you got a little bit less than 2 weeks. So try to get it in. Try to get it in before what is the Tuesday before? We're gonna record on the last Wednesday. So try to get them in by the 29th, with that Tuesday. So mailbag@mtrnetwork.net. And let us know what you think of this season finale. Let us your comic books you're reading. I've been reading a lot of stuff. We mentioned this on Arrow, but I've been catching up on that Arrow Rebirth stuff. That's really, really good. I'm rereading, and we're gonna have a comic book club on this. So if you're not a premium member, sign up for premium. We're gonna be talking one of my favorites, this Uncanny X-Force run by. We're gonna do the first 19 issues again by Rick Remender, and fuck, I love this. I love them being an assassination squad. I'm sorry, I just do. I'm something wrong with me. I know. I get it. There is. So. Yeah, folks, thank you guys very much for listening, and yeah, stay tuned. We'll be back soon. Talk to you guys later. Peace.